What's up, guys? AWO here, Air War Order, bringing another live stream, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, guys, my time. Um, yeah. So today, guys, we're gonna have something fun. We're gonna really fun. We're gonna talk X-Men and what X-Men we like to see, mutants, whatever, and how would you work them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. And before I do that, I'm gonna invite people on. Okay. Invite people on. Free to come on. Here's the StreamYard link. I'm gonna pin it. And you're all free to come on for this X-Men stream into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, make sure to check out a video I have that's going to premiere on my channel at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, my time. It's not a long video. It's 4 minutes long. Yeah, 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes long. So it's not really long. It's not a long video. It's kind of a fun video. Don't take it seriously, guys. Once you watch it, don't really take it seriously. If you do, well, that's on you. But don't really take it seriously once you get to that video. And now it seems like my internet has started to play games on me. Let me just make sure. Nope, it's fine. Okay. It's fine, guys. But yeah, okay. The subject of the day is X-Men and MCU. You know, look, this is definitely gonna happen. Mutants are gonna end up in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's gonna happen. No question about it. No damn question about it, guys. So, okay, now, how would it be used in MCU, right? Well, that's a question I've been thinking a lot lately. Now, look. It's very complicated now how they can use them. Because this idea that the mutants are bad or like how they are portrayed in X-Men comics, how the public should fear them and stuff like that. I don't think that kind of stuff, I don't think that kind of stuff works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because humanity, has already seen people or beings with power-like abilities. I mean, they've seen the Hawk. They've seen the Hawk. They've seen other beings that have magic or space-like beings. Spider-Man. The public has already seen people like that. You think you think they're gonna be afraid of mutants? The evil ones they'll be afraid of, but they've already seen evil beings with powers and abilities. Something just funny. I'm sorry. I so I don't like. I don't know how they could work that in for work that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Uh, if, they get this political this political, you know, fear and hatred of mutants that we see in X-Men universe. I don't know how we could fit that in into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know how we could fit that in. It's I like if you have ideas, I'm open to hearing them. Sorry. Oh my god. It's my mind racing before I say what I want to say. Like we think of Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. We think that's how when the first idea of mutants appearing. Like remember, it's Professor Xavier. Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier is going to appear in it as one of the cameos. In the movie. Now, I think it's possible. I think it's true. I think that's true. But there's all these other rumors about who's going to appear in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It's just like really annoying. It actually kind of is annoying. It's really really annoying right now. Everybody's guessing who's going to appear in the cameos room for that movie. Everybody's guessing, and some of these guesses are like outrageous. It don't make any sense. What? Right now, why? But with this mutant stuff, it's with this Xavier. If Xavier does appear, this definitely is a sign. Is an Easter egg. It's a hint that the mutants and the X-Men mutants, whatever, will appear in the MCU. Now, some people think Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine. No, I don't. I don't believe. I think Hugh Jackman is done as Wolverine. I think. I think with Logan as a proper send off for that character, that was the idea. That was the idea for him to be done with. His Logan was done after Apocalypse, and he did not. In Wolverine and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine did not appear in Phoenix, so it's definitely a sign that he was done. Even in Age of Apocalypse, he wasn't. He was used as a cameo, basically, right? He was used as a cameo in that film. So he has in the X-Men movies for the past decade. Besides Future Past, he wasn't a main focus. He wasn't using it. He was only using cameos and besides Days of Future Past, he was the main antagonist trying to prevent the future from the Sentinels. And he restored the X-Men timeline from the 2000s timeline. Yeah, if you remember that. And Logan was in the future when pretty much there was no mutants left. There was only a few, but there was no mutants left. Apparently all the X-Men were dead. Everybody, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, everybody's dead. Just him and Xavier, and Xavier is probably the reason why. So I think, and from what I know, for them know that Hugh Jackman said, "Yeah, I'm pretty much done with Wolverine after that movie." He's done. He's done. I think he's done. I think he's done with that movie too. Now, it's not to say he could come back. Maybe maybe he will come back. I didn't think. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never would have thought Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield would come back ever. Period. I thought that was like a 0% chance of happening. And then all that stuff about No Way Home was happening, all that stuff with them about appearing in the movie. I'm like, yeah, I think this is believable. I think this is happening. I would never thought of those two coming back. Ever. And well, they did. And they were in a solid movie. Breaking records. With this, so who knows? Maybe Hugh Jackman will come back for Doctor Strange, and have a small cameo. Like Patrick Stewart, if he's coming back, he's got a small cameo, and I don't think Patrick Cooper, if they do more X-Men stuff in the MCU, Patrick Stewart is not going to be the Professor Xavier going forward in MCU. Not Patrick Stewart. He's too old. They're not going to want. Like, I love Patrick Stewart, but they're not going to want him as their Xavier going forward. Because, yeah, age, obviously. For age is the obvious reason there. They're going to want somebody younger. Maybe, I don't know, maybe look at James McAvoy. The younger Xavier. Or maybe they'll recast a whole new Professor Xavier. And they'll probably recast... And they'll probably recast the young X-Men, which I don't think they need to. I think, you know what? I think they will recast, but I don't mind them bringing in the current X-Men from the Fox universe, like Jean Grey. Or Sophie Turner, Jean Grey. I don't mind the young I don't know the actress who played Storm, or the actor Ty Sheridan, I think that's his name, who plays Cyclops. Who else? Evan Pierce as that Quicksilver. I know they trolled us with the Ralph Boner in WandaVision. What other characters? I don't like Michael Fassbender. If they want to bring any Michael Fassbender's as Magneto, I don't mind that. But like if they think that I do think if they do go in their direction, I think they are going to recast a whole new X-Men and mutants with a whole new cast. I think Michael Fassbender, if they want to really establish Magneto without an origin or whatever, I mean, they still have an origin, but if they want to have an established Magneto, Michael Fassbender is the guy you bring in, and establish Xavier, Professor Xavier is the guy to bring in. But if they don't, they want to go with a new cast, they're going to have to establish their version of MCU X-Men, and mutants and villains. Like, what they're going to do with Professor Magneto's origin. Now, there's a lot of people who think, there's some, as just talk or speculation, that they might gender bent Magneto to make, race swap Magneto, they might make him African American or stuff like that. It's been chatter about it. I you could, I don't think that's a good idea. Um, First, his name is European, and you don't hear a lot of with his last name. A lot of it's not. His last name Eric or whatever. His last name Lester is unless he changed his last name. His last name is very. It's it's a Jewish last name. Yes, you could. Yes, and I can say this as a Jew. A black person could be a Jew. A brown person can be a Jew. It doesn't being Jewish does not mean being Jewish. It doesn't matter what color of their skin. Being Jew, I know in my religion, Judaism, we think of ourselves as a race, but but if you're a different color than the white person or whatever, Caucasian, Middle East, Caucasian, you're still a Jew, whether you're black, brown, or mixed, whatever. If you're Jewish, you're Jewish. It doesn't matter. So yes, you can still technically work with a Black Magneto and still make him Jewish. That still technically could work. And think about it. It's just that with Magneto, is that when he saw in the Holocaust, because he was in the Holocaust, and what the Nazis, the Third Reich, viewed themselves as the dominant race, human race on Earth. That's where Magneto gets his view of mutants being superior species to humanity, the people without powers. That the people that he should reign that mutants are the next in line, or the evolution of the next species, the next race that should dominate the planet over humans. Now, over time in the comics, or whatever, or even in the movies, his goal for that does slowly go away. His ambition slowly goes away, and he sees and what can you say? And that philosophy is always what brings Xavier and Eric, Professor Xavier, Charles Xavier, and Eric Lester's or Magnus, he likes to call him at times. Different philosophies as their friends go up. Different philosophies how they could coexist, how they see the world with mutants, using mutants. Xavier sees that mutants could coexist with humans, and he wants peace or something like that. And Magneto doesn't see that. He sees the opposite view, that the mutants are the superior race, and humans will always be afraid of them, because he's in the Holocaust, and from his experience. Now I don't know if they could work that in. I mean, what do? I mean, World War II was involved in MCU. We got the Captain America stuff, right? Peggy Carter. The X-Men most likely come from a different universe, probably from the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or whatever. We don't know. It may not be happening. Who knows? Professor Xavier may not be in Doctor Strange 2 as a cameo. We don't know. There's a lot of people guessing who's going to be in the cameos. A lot of people, there probably are going to be cameos. People are going to shock us, but it's just that everybody's like guessing who's going to appear in it, and I pretty much say everybody who's going to appear. I pretty much say everybody's going to appear in it. Everybody. So I can't be. So technically, I could be right. I'm sorry, I was just reading something funny. I'm just reading stuff funny. Now with Wolverine, I don't know, like what, like this is not X-Men related, but when I was talking with my friend Blind Braille on when he came on to my stream Tuesday, I gave him an idea how the Fantastic Four can enter the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. What they can do is have them being a very established team. We don't need an origin movie like they did with the 2015 in the first Fantastic Four, 2003, 2004. We don't need an origin movie to introduce them, and have Doctor Doom ready to be made. And Doctor Doom perhaps discovers his multiverse stuff and wants to take advantage of it. And the Fantastic Four figure that stuff out, and they follow him into the multiverse. That's what I think they should do with the Fantastic Four. Just have them be a real established team already. I'm sorry, I'm kind of watching something pretty funny on Twitter. And I'm sorry, that's how I would introduce them. And if somebody wants to pop online, they feel free to give me their ideas. I'll put on my headset when the people come on, if they want to. With the X-Men, there is a rumor out there that Wanda, from that classic storyline, No More Mutants, there's a rumor out there that Wanda may do something similar like that. Maybe she's so powerful that she expands the multiverse somehow, and then all these mutants from the pop in. Different villains, different mutant villains. Maybe Magneto, Mystique, Omega Red, Juggernaut, Apocalypse. I'm just going to Mr. Sinister. I'm going to list Sabretooth. I'm just going to examples here. Sabretooth, Pyro. Like the list could go on and on. The Brotherhood of Mutants. It's just a rumor that Wanda was going to say something like that. It's just a rumor. Nothing confirmed because, it's just a rumor, guys. Like I can't confirm it. I don't have sources confirming that. I just read it somewhere on Twitter. I forgot where. I'm sorry, so I can't tell you where to find it. It's just rumor, speculation. And thank you for the 10th like. Feel free to comment if you want. Or come on if you want. Now, obviously, if Magneto does appear in Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, he's not going to be Wanda's father because if you've seen WandaVision, we know she has a father and a mother, and yeah, tragically, and with their brother Pietro. And Wanda was not used in the X-Men films, but Quicksilver was. We know that's a fact. And thanks for the 11th like. We know that's for a fact. Now, how did the thing as I said, this idea that people being afraid of mutants like the X-Men universe, I don't think it doesn't work in the MCU for me. For me, it doesn't work because people has already seen beings of power, whether they're heroes to defend Earth, or whether it's the villains trying to destroy Earth or take it over. They've already seen that kind of stuff. So seeing mutants that are able to shapeshift, control metal, control weather, laser shooting out of their eyes, psychic, telekinetic, whatever. It doesn't work. I don't think it works in the MCU, or at least in the main universe that they're in. It doesn't work because humanity has seen it already. Now, it doesn't mean they can come up with something and be like, yeah, these people getting out of, people with powers is too many people with powers or abilities is getting out of control. They may have to do something like something similar like the Soviet Accords, where each mutant has to like register himself or something like that, and that could create a political divide, a political something like that between mutants and humanity. Like mutants are being treated unfairly, maybe in the MCU, something like that. Maybe it gets to a point where there's too many people have too many powers. Mutants have too many. There's too many people with powers and abilities, and then yeah, they could do stuff like that, like that. That the mutants are being politically. What's the? Yeah, they could be politically. No, mutants could be the ones. Okay. Okay. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about there. They could do stuff like that. I don't know, like I don't know if that could work really. Like it could work, but I don't know how far it can go. And maybe that's where they could have the Avengers versus the X-Men, like they did in the comics. But that's from a different storyline. That has nothing really to do with how the mutants are treated. It had to do more with the Phoenix Force, because I think Avengers versus X-Men is like the Phoenix Force. I did read it. I think, my memory is not great. I think the Phoenix Force is at that story between the two teams, was the Phoenix Force divided into 5 characters. I think Magneto, Emma Frost, Cyclops, and I think one of them was Mystique, and the other one, I'm not 100% sure on this, was Cyclops. Now, maybe they could do stuff like that. The Phoenix Force enters the MCU and stuff like that. Or maybe, like, I think this is a long way off, but Apocalypse could be a big bad villain. I think with Magneto, I don't know how to like Magneto be like, wait, you're afraid? Magneto, if he has a MCU, he could be the catalyst for one of the main catalysts for the reason the governments could come up with a bill or something for the accord for all the mutants to sign, to register, to know they could track them. Magneto could be the catalyst for that, because he is kind of the catalyst for that in the trilogy in the 2000s. Like, I don't know. I don't like. That's what they could do with Magneto. That's what I think. But and then we see that then the X-Men show up. Now played by different actors, obviously. I think it's gonna be different actors. You gotta like some people suggest I hear this a few times. I don't know. This is another fan casting thing. That's a lot of people do fan cast, which is okay. I'm okay with that. I don't care. Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. I don't know. I can't see Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. But if I had to pick the X-Men to join MCU right away, it'd probably be Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Rogue, and Beast and Xavier. I would go with that team right now. Maybe Gambit. Right now. I really have no, like, it's hard right now. Cause, and then you got these other villains, Omega Red. Well, Omega Red has something to do with with Russia, right? Because Omega Red's it's Russian. I know his name, I just can't pronounce it. Okay, I could find it on Google. I know his name, and I just don't want to botch his name. I don't want to botch Omega Red's name. Now we got Juggernaut, who Flip Marko apparently is a. If you read that in the anime series, he's the half brother of Xavier. I don't know if he's the half brother in the comics. Flip Marko, half brother of Is it Flip Marko? No, it might be a different. No, not Flip Marko. What's Juggernaut's name? No, that's Flip Marko is. Kane Marko. There we go. Kane Marko. My bad. Kane Marko. Yeah, I got the two first names mixed up. Is he? I don't know. So, yes, it does have a relationship with Charles Xavier. He becomes Charles Xavier's stepfather. His father, Kane Marko, is the son of Kurt Marko, who becomes Xavier's. So, yes, they can use. So, I don't know if they can use. I think that'd be for an X-Men thing. I don't think that could be. If they want to do an X-Men film, you could have Juggernaut and his vendetta against Professor Xavier. If they want to go through that stepbrother hatred that Kane has for Xavier, because in I know he's in Deadpool 2, but there really was no story with them. They didn't really explain his history with Xavier. And I know in X-Men 3, Last Stand, yeah, that's a bad movie. He was in it, but he was just there as a muscle head, and there was nothing there to him. There was no character there. They kind of made him just a big muscle meathead. That's it. Who has strength and that helmet. Now with Juggernaut, they can use something, that could be an X-Men movie. Juggernaut teams up with someone, maybe Magneto convinces him, or somebody teams up, maybe Mystique teams up with Kane Marko to get the help to convince him to get revenge on Professor Xavier, something like that. I don't know. But you could do something there, because they really didn't do anything to Deadpool in X3 with Juggernaut. Omega Red. I know they're not gonna do this, but if I'm just saying this, if Wolverine comes from a multiverse, maybe he did have a small partnership with Captain America, and then they went to separate ways. Where he has to go down, where he has to go take out Omega Red or something like that during World War II or something like that. I don't know, or maybe during the 1980s, during the, or not no. The start of the Cold War, Omega Red was pushing for the Cold War to become, because everybody's afraid of the Cold War, like what was going to possibly happen with atomic bombs and stuff. It was a Cold War because nothing was. They weren't invading the land. They weren't firing bombs or rockets, but there was always a threat. There was always a fear that was going to happen between Russia and the U.S. Maybe they could do that with the Cold War stuff hanging over U.S. and Russia. They could have Wolverine. That could be a separate movie, really, but maybe Wolverine or somebody was tasked to take out Omega Red, because maybe Omega Red was pushing Russia, was trying to convince Russia, or trying to be like a terrorist or something like that, to actually get to a point where Russia does fire rockets, bombs into U.S. soil, onto U.S. soil, or something like that. They could do an MCU in some way. Tell me what you guys think about those possible um, situations, those are possible ideas I have for Omega Red and Juggernaut. Because tell me, what actors do you think could play Juggernaut in Omega Red? Now, let's look. I don't want some meathead wrestler like somebody big, strongly built, strong with. I mean somebody be strong, well built for somebody like Juggernaut. But I want somebody to have like, I don't know, like actually act. Cause I want Juggernaut to have more character. Deadpool. Who's the actor who played him in Deadpool? I know he's in Deadpool, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure I saw him in Deadpool. Was it Deadpool 1 he was in? I might have been. Hey, what's up? It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Wait, what? Oh, Ryan Wells played Dead. Oh, he voiced Dead. He voiced Juggernaut. Okay, that's my fault. I don't know, man. Thinking of ideas how you could do X-Men and MCU and how you introduce them. So like, oh, so you kind of here. So what I was thinking was, you know, we blind bro, the fear of people of beings of powers in MCU doesn't really work. The idea of mutants are a threat unless too many of them are coming through, and one of them, like somebody like Magneto, takes it too far, and then you have something like this, and then the governments of the U.S. or the governments of the U.S. or the world are like fearing that people with power, with too much power, is detrimental, is dangerous. They fear of that, and they're gonna make people with powers register with them, and they can see that, and Magneto sees that as an attack on mutants, and that could get Xavier and the X-Men involved. It could get the Avengers involved. That's what I think could happen with Magneto. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And I said Juggernaut they could use. I think Juggernaut for an X-Men movie could be Juggernaut could be used for as have a story for Juggernaut, have something for Juggernaut there. Don't make him a big muscle meathead like he's been in the other films. He's a stepbrother of. They have to. He's a stepbrother of Kane. Not Kane. Kane Markle is a stepbrother of Xavier. Have something there. Use something with Juggernaut there. Have him team up with something. Don't make him a main villain, but have him team up with something. Have somebody convince him how to help him get revenge on Xavier. Maybe it's Eric. If you put Mystique, maybe with Omega Red, you can establish him from World War II, and maybe have Wolverine say he worked with the Captain America in his universe to take down Omega Red, or universe, and then they ran their separate ways where he ran on his mission to take down Omega Red. Now this Captain America, when this Wolverine will not be the Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Or you could do like the threat of the Cold War, have where Omega Red is trying to push the Cold War to a point where they actually do fire rockets and bombs with each other, and Wolverine's maybe or Wolverine's help with the task, or the X-Men are tasked to take out Omega Red, specifically Wolverine, something like that. Because that does affect humanity and mutants alike. So those are my 3 villains so far. I don't know what they can do with Mystique. She's like the X-Men films besides Future Past, besides the 2000s, the 2000s one, Rebecca, she was more of a upper tier henchman for Magneto, but we know Mystique. We know Mystique from the comics. She's much more than a second fiddle to someone. She's much more, right? She's much more than that. So maybe still be something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking too much like the comics. Have her established that she's a mother of Nightcrawler, or adopted mother of Rogue. I don't know if they're gonna take that. I mean, and the thing is, in the movies with Mystique and Nightcrawler, it never established anything that they're related in some way. Like Nightcrawler and Nightcrawler and Mystique have no connection in the movies, besides being an X-Men or an enemy, stuff like that. And you could have the Brotherhood of Mutants. Sabretooth you could add. Obviously, Wolverine. So Mr. Sinister? Yeah, I would love to see Mr. Sinister. They could do that and do what he was been teasing in the X-Men movies, because remember they teased him in the X-Men movies and nothing came out of that. You do Mr. Sinister, maybe working with Apocalypse or something like that. I think Nathaniel Essex. Yeah. They could do something with Mr. Sinister. Follow up on that. Now, there's other villains, right? We'll get to the big bad villain, obviously. Apocalypse. We'll get to that. So I mentioned kind of Magneto, Mega Red, Sabretooth, Juggernaut, Mystique, Mr. Sinister. Also, there's another villain we could do. I'll get to Apocalypse now. Now, I did not like X-Men Apocalypse. I thought it was a bad movie. And I thought Apocalypse was done wrong. I thought Apocalypse was done terribly. Terribly in that movie. That's just me. You could like it or not. It's up to you. Everything's subjective. But I thought it was a terrible movie. And the way they portrayed Apocalypse. Oh. I thought they did him dirty in that movie. Like how they... I personally think if they were leading up to the Phoenix Saga, if they're trying to leading up to the Phoenix Saga and have the last movie be Jean Grey as the Phoenix, the third movie in that series, the villain should not have been Apocalypse. Because Apocalypse, I'm sorry, but Apocalypse should not be a catalyst to something like that. I don't care. He's Apocalypse in the X-Men universe, X-Men lore. It's a Thanos of. If I compare to MCU, he's a Thanos of that. He's a Thanos of that Thanos level like villain build up. Like that. Where you have to work as a team, and you may have to get Magneto to work on your side, or other mutants to work on your side because of how Apocalypse is. And if you do it in the MCU, you can get the Avengers, or you can get some of the non-mutants involved, but build them up, You know what? Don't necessarily make it a MCU Thanos level villain. You could build them up for a few more movies, more for the X-Men, for the mutants side, for the mutants X-Men stuff. So like, see, if you're planning to do 3 or 4 or 5 X-Men movies, maybe build up with those movies or TV shows, Disney Plus shows, and make Apocalypse the Thanos for the X-Men stuff in the MCU. Not necessarily for everybody, excluding the Avengers, Eternals, mutants, whoever. Just keep them in the X-Men side of things. You could do that, but don't make it quick. Like 3 to 5 to 6 movies or something. Build up to Apocalypse, okay? Build up to Apocalypse, and do it right. That's how you do it. And if you want to add the Phoenix, go ahead. The Phoenix thing could lead to Avengers vs. X-Men. Because of if they want to go that storyline because of the comics. Because there was Avengers vs. X-Men. They could. There's a lot more here than you could do with the X-Men. You could do with Fantastic Four. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this does happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it's different from the comics, where you do have Avengers vs. X-Men, and somebody else is pulling the strings, like kind of like Civil War, like what Baron Zemo kind of did. Yeah, Secret Wars is happening. It looks like a Secret Wars is happening. I don't know what they could do here, because they're not gonna do the Phoenix thing here with the Avengers of X-Men, because that was the whole thing in the comics. Maybe pulling, maybe Magneto makes that happen. Magneto's a good bet. He could do something like Avengers with X-Men. Well, those are the main villains, really. Like the Mystique, Juggernaut, Omega Red, Mr. Sinister, Apocalypse, Sabretooth. The 4 Horsemen, I guess, for Apocalypse. Put down the list. Yeah, he does, for sure. I wouldn't mind seeing the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood involved Onslaught. Yeah, Onslaught maybe. Let's check out. Yeah, Onslaught. Yeah, he'd be good. Good choice. Drive. Yeah. Mastermind. Yeah. There's a lot of villains. There's potential for a lot. They could do with X-Men. You just gotta be creative. Oh, Hellfire Club. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Not a bad idea. Emma Frost, Selena Gallo, Madame Pryor's there. Sebastian, no, Sebastian Shaw. We kind of got the Hellfire Club a little bit in the first movie, right? The first X-Men movie. Um, first First Class. You kind of the, I guess, a smaller version of the Hellfire Club. Yeah. Maybe if maybe if they want to do a continuation of, say, from the X-Men Fox universe when Jean Grey is gone, um, um, they have Emma Frost, introduce Emma Frost as part of Hellfire Club, but then she turns good and may have something with her with Cyclops until Jean Grey comes back. I don't know. I like First Class and Days of Future Past. Both of those movies are good. I hated the next two. The next two after that, Apocalypse and the Phoenix, trash. They were bad movies. That's the thing with X-Men movies. Shadow King 2, yes, yes. That's the thing with X-Men movies. They're either hit or miss. They're either good or bad. They're always up and down. That's the thing with X-Men movies. They're always up and down. And I include the Wolverines and movies in there. It's not good, Blind Bill. It's not good, man. I tell you, it's not good. I'm pretty sure you know what happens in that movie. I'm pretty sure you know what happens to one particular character in that movie. like, yeah. I'm sorry if I'm saying, like, they made Apocalypse look like a wimp. I don't know what they did to Psylocke in that movie. Because Psylocke is a badass. Like, and it's not the actress. I don't think it's the actress. A lot of people were questioning Olivia Munn being Psylocke. To me, it wasn't Olivia Munn. There's a problem. It was just how they written her in that movie. Like, Psylocke did not need to be in that movie. They could start the Horsemen, but they didn't need Psylocke. They had I think Angel was a good pick for Horseman. Storm, ugh. Yeah, she was. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence, yeah, she killed her off by the beginning of the Phoenix. Jennifer Lawrence phoned in X-Men from, you could see it from Apocalypse to, and especially in Phoenix. She was just phoning in. She was just there for the paycheck. That's it. Money, 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 money. Because first class, that's, I know, I'm just want to, I just, obviously Xavier. I'm just gonna go one from the animated series. Have the X-Men lineup. Yeah, I know she didn't care. Just have the one from from the original lineup. From the animated series. Just have that lineup. Beast, Jubilee, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit, Rogue, and Jean Grey. Just have that. Or something like that. And And Xavier can introduce each of them, their a bit of their backstory, stuff like that. But I think, the issue, the problem I can see with that is how could it go in depth about these characters with their backstory and stuff like that, because you can't really do that in one movie. I mean, like Eternals, right? You try with Eternals. I don't know if you could do it with so many characters. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I just don't think how Kevin Feige will think with the X Men though. I think I think he would want to go with the most popular characters in the X Men. That's what I think. But I'm not Kevin Feige, so I don't know. Maybe Iceman. I don't know, son. I don't know. Shadowcat, Kitty Pride. It's. I think Feige is gonna go with the popular ones because the general public knows the general public. I'll tell you this: they watched the animated series and they watched the Wolverine movie. Yeah, but here's the thing, right, Blind Bro? Here's the thing: you can do X Men or X Men, but the mutants thing, you could do a bunch of movies with just mutants. It doesn't necessarily X Men. X Men is just it's basically Xavier's men, right? But you could have other storylines. You could have other movies and TV shows specific mutant characters. Maybe you could do a Wolverine TV show or like a Logan Gambit TV show or something like that. You could do that. Yeah, and they'll definitely get some diversity too. So what I'm just saying there is, yeah, when we get to X Men, but we'll get other mutants in there. So we'll just get. The problem is, I think the problem is we think X Men as a universe. X Men is a universe. X Men is not a universe. X Men is Xavier's men. Mutants is more specifically the universe. So. So that's why I think it's better to call a movie Mutants, the first thing Mutants, and then after that having X Men, something like X Men, and then you can have X Men to refer to Xavier, and then you can have other Disney Plus shows and and movies, MCU movies. You could do a Wolverine stuff like that, like Blind Bill says here. You could do a Rogue and Gambit, yeah, I don't know, Storm, I don't know, something like that. You could do a villain thing, something like that. You could expand the Mutants universe. Let's call it Mutants universe. Okay? You could expand it. Exactly. I think we have to get the idea out of our head that's the X-Men universe. It's really the Mutants universe. The reason people call it X-Men and the films are X-Men and stuff like that, or have X-Men as a title, is because the brand name is what sells. But it's really not the X-Men universe. It's just the name of the brand. It's not really the X-Men universe. Because in the comics, X-Men don't have their own universe. I know. They, Bro, they can't. MCU. They always have plans. Always have plans. They probably have They have plans for stuff for future projects. Probably 10 years from now. You know them. See, I never like. Here's the thing, Blind Bro. Like, I never underestimate the MCU, Kevin Feige. Man, never underestimate this man. You know that. I think it's a pretty safe bet never to underestimate Kevin Feige. I think we tend to overestimate, but we should never underestimate. Possible. We'll see. I mean, nothing is impossible, right? There's a problem with people who have the MCU. We tend to overestimate everything in the MCU. That's why sometimes we get our expectations too high. But I think we should never underestimate them. I know it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to say, but I learned never to underestimate Kevin Feige. Yeah. How long has the stream been? I just think this. I'm just gonna say this idea of Professor Xavier being killed off again for a third time. Oh, I really like. I really think that's stupid. I just think it's stupid. And that last video I made, the last stream I did with Blind Braille was on. It was kind of we had to, if we had to add it up, we kind of talk about 10 minutes about it. But I know I'm gonna be right because I said everybody's gonna be in Doctor Strange 2 as making a cameo. So if one or two people are in it, then I'm right. And yeah, I'm gonna end the stream a little early. Well, this stream is actually an hour long, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. And yeah, you could go away, this guy. Yeah, you could go away, buddy. If you have anything intelligent to say, you can put it in the comments. No, I'm joking. I know you're a bot. Get out of here. Okay. So I'm gonna end it here for it's about an hour. So before I do the typical YouTube sick with like, share, subscribe before 7 p.m. I have a video premiering. It's actually a 4-minute video, but it's gonna be funny. So check it out 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's actually pretty funny. You're gonna love it. And don't take it too seriously, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Yes, it's okay, Blind Braille. It's okay. So yeah, before I go.
Too sweet! Sweet! Too sweet! Too sweet!
Thank you. So yes, thank you, Blind Braille. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, and that AWO Aaron Water is out. Take care, guys.